Cheers.
Cheers.
This is a podcast.
It's been a minute. I feel like I should swirl my glass straw after you.
Glass straws. Some things change. Some things
stay the same.
Never do. No punts allowed. Still, the name of this thing, even though we've been dormant for a bit, we've been busy.
Yeah.
But we're back. We have college football this weekend,
which is so crazy. And also, we just want to say we haven't been avoiding you guys. I know it feels like we have, but we didn't want to ghost you. So we're back week 0. Week 1, we will obviously be able to give you a little bit more information about what's been going on, what's in the works, what's coming this season. But we did want to come on and be like, hey, no punts allowed is still a thing. The amount of DMs that you and I have received about whether or not we were coming back, what if, like when, all of the things, we just wanted to be able to share it here. And then also we have like kind of a cool week 0 slate. So I feel like we can get into that too.
Yeah. We are like fair weather podcasters. We're just here for the good time.
Yeah.
Right? Like whatever. Transfer portal, economics, fine. We'll still do that. But we're here for
legislation.
Games. Yeah, fuck that.
Laws.
I'm done.
Gross.
No. We are here for a good time.
The football. We're here for ball.
By the way, although we have not done a podcast in a while, my kids, I have found out, have searched up our podcast on YouTube. So in the morning, right? So they'll go up and they'll be like, hey, Adam Kramer podcast, right? This is what they do. And I came down one morning, this was recently, and my kids are all like, you swear a lot. Like a lot. So I'm not going to stop. Okay. This is not me.
This is the safe space.
I want to say, if you're watching this, Kramer children, like put on a goddamn TV show now. Okay? Watch something else. This is not for you. And you'll be out of it anyways in 20 minutes. So, nothing. This part stays the same. This part feels very good to be back. So cheers.
Yeah. We also have been doing a lot of shows. So as you guys know, over the last probably 2 years, each year, we seem to be doing more and more for Bleacher Report and Bleacher Report Live.
Yes.
That will also be coming this season. Something that is a true staple, and the first thing we were ever asked to do for Bleacher Report Live was the AP poll reaction show. And we started, obviously, with the preseason one. We will do one after week 1 and then continue to do them on Sundays. And you guys, we really, really encourage you, if you're No Punts Allowed fans, to either log into the live show and comment, because the comment section of that show is the best part of the show.
Unhinged.
And we will respond to the haters, believe me.
Of which there are many.
Because there just always are. College football fans are just always wanting to yell about something into the abyss, which is fine. We love that. But those shows will be live in the Bleacher Report app and on the Bleacher Report YouTube. You will also this season, because guys, we're growing up a little bit, be able to find those videos after they are done live. We will make sure they're uploaded to our No Punts Allowed YouTube account. So go to our YouTube and subscribe. Right now, we're going to give you a moment to pause this if you're listening just audio, and please go to the YouTube and subscribe, because that's where a lot of our content is going to be. Obviously, our socials as well, but a lot of our BR and No Punts Allowed content will be in one place, and that will be on our YouTube channel. So we do just want to say that. And then look out for the new stuff that's going to come up that's not the AP Poll show.
Yeah, we've been having fun. Wait, first off, pause, subscribe. Here, I'm going to drink while you subscribe.
We're both drinking here if you're not watching on visual medium.
We have been making people mad. Like sleeper teams, which probably less mad.
Yes.
Anytime it's the AP poll, it's convenient because this is not our rankings.
Yes.
It's the rankings of shitty media people.
Yes.
But when we rank things, it's mad. Overrated, calling teams overrated.
Yes. We called Georgia overrated, and honestly, I forced Kramer into it, and then I did some research on it. It was like, this was a mistake, but also like kind of fun because they could be overrated. They're getting the benefit of the doubt because they're Georgia. But what's new? Some things stay the same. Me hating on Georgia stays the same. It just really does. But obviously, we will talk about some of the storylines today that have been happening during the offseason. Like we said, we're not going to go through NIL, any of that stuff. I mean, it's kind of boring, to be honest with you. And we're here for, hey, when it's official, let us know, and we will work with that. But Arch Manning is going to be a conversation that we talk about quite a bit.
Yes.
And this is a perfect way to start off our new segment. It's not new, but it's kind of new. It's rebranded, much like a lot of things. And it's called That's Our Opinion.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
And yes, if you are a Real Housewives fan, that is a spin-off of Tamra saying, that's my opinion, and yelling that, which Kramer has no idea what that is. But you know what? He's in. I was telling him before the show starts, anytime I'm like, hey, Kramer, this is what I think we should do. How do you feel about this? He's like, I'm in.
Fellas, guess which one of these that I branded, okay?
Yeah.
The answer to be revealed at the end. I'm in. No, I am in. And I also just want to point out, like, this is our version of trying to be more adults. Like, we have we will break protocol probably by week 3.
Yes.
It will be off the rails. It's already off the rails. It will be off the rails. But I think more than anything, these are guardrails for me. You're like, okay, we are in this specific segment. Please stop and follow the goddamn path, which I will try to do. I promise. I will try to do.
We're growing up. This year, Adam turned 40 at the beginning of the year. I'm getting married this year. So basically, this is our grown-up year. We're growing up. But
sort of. Maybe.
Kind of. We'll get there. But Arch Manning, so he obviously is starting quarterback for Texas. We've been talking about him for quite some time, whether it was when he was being recruited very early on versus being the backup at Texas. Now he is in charge. But a couple weeks ago, his grandfather decided to make a comment about whether or not he'd be going to the NFL. Because, of course, we can't just enjoy the fact that Arch Manning is a starting quarterback at Texas and we have a whole football season in front of us. We have to care about the fact of what's happening next April and what decision he will make. That is sarcasm. I don't care. I just want to focus on the now and be present, okay? And his grandfather made this comment about how he's not going to go to the draft. He's going to be at Texas. Well, today, Arch said, hey, I don't know where he got that. He texted me to apologize. That's not really true. But Adam, you wrote on this when it happened.
Yeah.
And you were like, this isn't real.
Yeah, and like, okay, there's two parts of this. I find this funny because there's like a very human element to the Manning family. Like, it's finally they're breaking this perfect rhythm of saying and doing all the right things. But even this, I think, is kind of very human and like, hey, I know where he got that. He apologized. We're all good here. So what could be a big story, it still is a big story. We're talking about it. It is front page news at a very kind of quiet time.
Yeah,
I think has been really kind of de-escalated. I will say, because the story I wrote about was that they have handled, including Arch, everybody involved has handled this really well. They've handled what could be a circus, and it will be a circus soon, extremely well. This whole thing seems very down to earth at a very non-down to earth time in the sport where it's NIL, it's money, it's salaries, it's all these things. I like Arch. Arch seems very normal. But whatever happens here coming up, like, is going to change everything. And that's where the comment from Archie was kind of absurd. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen. I personally think Arch is in for a lot. I think it's not going to come easy. And I think everybody I think he understands that. And they've addressed that too. So to be continued, but I kind of like this. This is like a family issue playing out very politely in real time.
Yeah, we all have like a grandpa that like speaks out of turn or says something that they're not supposed to say or tell everybody.
Yeah.
Whether they've had these discussions or not, especially when he was like, I don't know where he got this. It's like, it's obviously a discussion. I'm sure they've been like, hey, how are we going to address the NFL draft attention going into this year?
Yes.
But we will obviously preview the game 1 that he has, because when you were saying it gets real, like week 1 for him becomes very real because of who they play. So I do think we will get to more of what we think will happen in that game next week when we preview week 1, which is so crazy that it's here.
Holy shit.
But another team that you and I are both really high on outside of Texas is Clemson.
Yep.
And even in the comments of one of our videos, this is inspired by something you may have said that upset the people that you and I both didn't think was very controversial, but it was. So it includes Arch as well. So Cade Klubnik basically said, hey, when everybody said I sucked and I saw the social media comments about me and fans wanting me to leave Clemson, Dabo called me, sat me down in his office and said, I'm still believing you. And we talked on a preview show that hey, having a guy like Klubnik, who is a veteran presence, who has gotten better, who has been through the grind, and now is in a place where, hey, this is part of the formula to winning a national championship. It became very controversial that you said he could be a Heisman favorite or a Heisman candidate. And then we're saying, hey, let's not overhype Arch. People were very mad that you made that. It was a very far apart comparison, but for some reason it was so controversial. And I think you and I are both on the same page. Like, there's still a lot to be proven for Arch. Like, his ceiling is obviously much higher than Klubnik's, but we're about to see what Klubnik's ceiling is immediately, whereas I think Arch might be like a slow build.
I would disagree. I understand what you're saying in ceiling. Arch has great physical tools. I mean, I think Klubnik could be a number one pick. Like, I think he is.
Over Arch?
Yes, I think he could be that guy. This is a really interesting year for the quarterback in general.
Yes.
And I don't want to get a huge diatribe. Did anyone? So this is what drove me crazy in that video. 36 passing touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He ran for almost 500 yards. He threw for 3,600 yards. I don't think I gave his season the proper holy shit evaluation until you went back and looked. So I get it. If you look at his first 2 years, and there's a Dabo thing I want to talk about too, but like, he was thrown into the mix as a freshman. It didn't go great. 2023, not really good, right? Like, still not very good. 19 touchdowns, not terrible, but not great. This was a 5-star kid. So I think our patience has really changed. I'm really worried about for like Bryce Underwood at Michigan.
Good Lord.
And Arch, right? Like we're expecting these guys to be great. It's really friggin' hard. I love, though, that Klubnik, look, we have been hard on Dabo at times. This is a Klubnik story. It's also a Dabo story. I have absolutely zero doubt that Dabo pulled him in sincerely and not just coach speak, saying, I believe in you, because that's who Dabo is. Dabo, if nothing else, his biggest fault is being overly committed to his players. Like, he finally went into the transfer portal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, so I do like it, and it is a story about patience, right? And Arch will need that, and Klubnik had it, and now they're in a position to thrive. I think he's fantastic. He has a chance, and spoiler alert, I think he's going to win the Heisman. So, if I'm wrong, I've been wrong plenty before. I've been wrong with Clemson before.
Yeah.
But like,
which is funny because last year you were like, okay, playoff team, maybe back. This might be the year where we're actually talking about it. I think you also did the same thing with Michigan, where you were like a year too early. And then when it was actually the time, you're like, finally, I cashed this future bet. I'm thinking they're going to be successful. But no, I, to your point about Dabo, like, we have given him so much grief about a lot of things. And I think he genuinely, like, having heard him speak over the last couple of months and just seeing how college football has evolved and kind of staying true to who he is and his culture has allowed him to develop a team that is very, very talented. And I don't know that a lot of teams that we're talking about at between 1 and 10 are about development. They're about retaining guys that may be going to the NFL, but they're also about building through the transfer portal, doing all of those things. So I'm curious if, maybe the veteran presence on a roster, like we were talking about with Ohio State, is more of the formula than transfer portal overhaul. It could just be transfer portal, use it to your benefit where you need it, but retaining player development, all those things, which Dabo has proven that he's good at. So I think this year might be I don't think it'll be surprising for a lot of people that have watched college football over the last 10 years. I think it will be just a confirmation of what we already knew, and maybe a little bit of a surprise in the aspect that it's being done in this era of college football.
2 Dabo quotes that stand out to me, right?
Yes.
Again, here's one. When you sign up to do this, whether you're a coach at this level or certainly play the quarterback position, there's a lot of criticism. God damn it, criticism. We're so back. I just knew there was going to be a lot of noise. He's a young person. I just felt like it was important that I let him know that I fully believed in him. I didn't want him worrying about me going out, getting another guy. The second part of this, though, I think it's the most meaningful. I told him if this doesn't work out, then I'm going down with you. If you're a high school player and you hear a coach say that, like, that is powerful. And again, our criticisms of him, never to this. because players, I think, do genuinely love him. So this is cool. Like, and it's not just because I think it is something that, as you mentioned, other teams and programs can take away if you have the luxury to do it. And that's the hard part, because the demands and the pressure are so intense that normally you don't have 2.5 years to see something through.
Yeah. So great segue to a coach that will blame his quarterback and make sure his quarterback goes down and he doesn't have to take responsibility for it. And that is Hugh Freeze, who has just continued to get some sound bites. I think he really wants the attention right now. I don't know what it is.
He's so back too. We're all so back.
Yeah. I think, so the couple things. One, he was saying that they're going to play 3 quarterbacks.
Yes. Yeah. He's pretty adamant that they could play 3 quarterbacks. And
is it just because he's afraid to pick one and afraid to be wrong again?
I think he's also, yes, I think he's posturing to. I know Deuce Knight is probably the guy that Auburn fans want to see, the true freshman, and I wouldn't hesitate to throw him into the game. If you're talking about playing 3 quarterbacks, by the way, not usually a good thing.
No.
I think, you're going up against Dave Aranda week 1, and you're like, what can I give? Like, here's a couple extra hours you're going to have to stay up to at least think about what I'm trying to do. So Hugh is nothing else but loves the sound of his voice. It's putting it mildly. So, but yeah, like he is, does this mean he has a good team, right? Like, because is that why we're doing this? Like, you're not normally, talking unless, we used to say this about Saban, please, I'm not comparing the 2 coaches.
Yeah.
But does this mean he's got the goods and he's just screwing around with everybody?
I mean, he could potentially. I think, though, like, what's the saying in college football? Like, if you have a quarterback battle, like if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback at all, because it's really not what you want going into the season. But maybe his roster surrounding these guys are good enough that it doesn't really matter. It could be game managers. Who knows? We will see who they end up going with and if he really lives up to that. But he also lit the internet on fire, college football internet on fire, over basically a revelation that Auburn is giving themselves national championships.
Yeah, I love
retroactively.
This shit. I love this shit.
Thoughts to start. So
Auburn is not alone in doing this. Okay,
no.
UCF, Bama does this. Okay, it's one of those things though that just it strikes me as hilarious. Like, you can just look at headlines here. Like, from our own BR website, Auburn claims 7 additional CFB national championships. Like, fuck it. Let's claim one. Like, I'd like to claim one. I don't know what year. You can pick the year. Like, everybody's doing it now. So let's do it.
We won a national championship in podcasting for the last 4 years. So
yeah, we haven't been doing it half the time.
We'll get banners. We'll get banners made, and that makes it real.
No punts allowed. Hang the banner. Right?
Hang the no punts banner.
Gone fishing. We'll be back 4 games, which we are.
We should actually, this is, again, what happens while we're recording these shows. We are going to do an episode, I've just decided, where we are going to give out a banner for something.
Yeah.
And they're going to be no punts allowed banners. And
I love it.
We will figure out, and they'll be just ridiculous things. But yeah, it's very weird. It's also like when the NCAA like vacates wins or championships, we're like, okay, they still happened. Like, we watched it happen. So you can't take that away really. But all right.
So, all right. So just a little bit more details for anybody who's like, what does this mean? So the claim titles that they're going to add are 1910, 1913, who can forget that year, 1914, 1958, 1983, 1993, and 2004 seasons. So, but what I want to know is, where does this conversation start? I'm assuming it starts like any good conversation, over a glass of bourbon and a cigar, with someone of influence in, like, a booster saying, you know what? Fuck this. I want a natty. And in fact,
surprised you didn't go for it. You know what? I want more national championships up, and we should post them. Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah, we want natties. And then, of course, Auburn's like, you know what? fuck it. Let's go get some natties. And then so this is a quote, by the way. This is from John Cohen, the athletic director. I love this because imagine writing this. Far too long, Auburn has chosen a humble approach to our program's storied history, choosing to only recognize Associated Press national championships. Starting this fall, we have made the decision to honor the accomplishments of all deserving student athletes, coaches, and teams from Auburn's proud history. First off, I get a natty for reading that cleanly for once. Second,
congratulations.
That is hilarious. That is like Chat GPT bullshit. Like, let's release quote 101.
The best is like, we are so humble,
but
we're not going to be humble in this instance anymore.
Yeah.
Humility doesn't get you anywhere. So you need to claim these things. Also, one of the comments I saw on the internet that was, are they doing this to like distract from the fact that like they're not going to be very good, and so they're giving Auburn fans like something to be like happy about, or like be like, yeah, we've won all these national championships. Like, we don't know if this is actually going to be really good.
That's a great point because you're retiring Cam's number too.
Yes,
right?
they're like, look over here, so that your bad team this year is, you know what I mean? Like you don't know.
Yeah, that is true because like Cam,
we're gonna play 3 quarterbacks. They're just it's just distractions.
It is like
smoke and mirrors.
That's not good. I mean, that is an interesting point, and this is a really, you and I in our video on our sneaky teams to crash the playoff. We at least mentioned Auburn. Now,
we did. We said if you get through that ridiculously hard schedule, that's 14th toughest in the nation, you will be considered for the college football playoff, which is true.
Yes.
Now, do they do it? I don't know. They should have the pieces, but I mean, it requires maybe your coach having some faith in the quarterback position.
Well, Hugh Freeze can always rely on his faith, and we know that as a guy that has always done things the right way.
Right. He's always followed the rules and been really about football. But speaking of football, we have quarterback decisions. So I'm going to say this, and it's not to say that I don't say it often because that sounds rude, but you were right.
Thank you.
You are right about football things. Notre Dame named CJ Carr their starting quarterback. Starting quarterback. There we go.
So, the moment I knew CJ Carr was going to be the starting quarterback?
When they were saying that they thought it was going to be Minchie?
Well, yes, but also when we were watching him warm up. So, let's see. Try not to get canceled in our first podcast back in a while. That dude's ass was the size of a wagon, right? That dude had that dude's lower body is like, he's like a transformer, right? I'm not asking you to comment. I can kind of say this. Remember him warming up though? And I think I said something on the field. I was like, God, what the hell? What is that?
Well, didn't we talk about the size of him versus Julian Sayin and how Julian Sayin maybe needed to put on a little weight?
Yes. Oh, because Carr is, Notre Dame now with more ass. He was put together. So, and also beyond that part, which is very important. And everybody I've talked to said everybody I talked to said he looks great. And they wanted him to be the guy because the program, there seems to be a bit more buzz. It's always very interesting this time of year. Like we were just talking about Auburn, 3 quarterbacks, the way programs handle this. I found it interesting, like Alabama and Ohio State, we'll talk about them, like kind of like no nonsense. Here it is. Notre Dame, this one seemed to drag out a little bit, which could be good or could be bad, right? Like that's the other thing. Like that maybe this isn't
which is weird. I felt like Ohio State and Alabama still kind of made it a little bit longer. I mean, Sark said it at the beginning of the offseason that Arch was going to be their starter.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because he had less to see, but I think we are so used to there being like a for sure guy. And there are a lot. I mean, we were talking about the Big 12, like there are 9 guys returning that are starting quarterbacks that are pretty dang good. But it is we used to be so used to the coach speak around quarterbacks where I feel like we haven't in the last couple of years because we've known who's starting. This year, I feel like there's been made quarterback competitions out of places that weren't necessarily competitions, but they were like, oh, we're having a competition.
Yes.
No, and we still don't know about Michigan, right? Officially?
We don't know officially. I find it really interesting. Like Cal is going to start a true freshman. Like there's some really interesting things here. Like the quarterback.
BYU?
BYU, like the quarterback announcements have been pretty fast and furious. And with the transfer portal too, it's a lot to follow. Like it's a lot to keep up on, and it seems like it's getting a little bit more. There's just so much change everywhere.
Yeah.
And the number of teams that we have talked about in the AP poll when we did that video talking about the preseason that were undecided, on the fence, that were in like the top 15 is pretty amazing when you think about it. Like how much now, obviously it's solidifying, but there's some teams you really won't know till week 1.
So I know we've talked a lot about like win now culture. So we saw like Ohio State go all in last year. We obviously know that Penn State has done something similar. Texas Tech has gone all in cash wise, bringing back talent and kind of going all in certain years. Do you think that maybe we will see a little bit more of like true freshmen starting at quarterback, or guys that they've recruited to these schools coming in and like taking a few years to get to that win now year? Because like you were saying, so much changes and moves.
Yeah.
And I think you can do that. It's a lot easier to do it everywhere else. The quarterback position does make it a little bit harder when you bring a guy in. It helps if he has his offensive coordinator coming with him, which, by the way, as I was doing research for this year, has happened a lot this offseason where the OC goes, the quarterback comes. And I think that will continue to happen. But I do think we are, especially now that like we have had the House versus NCAA settlement passed, we know that this offseason was a rare case because a lot of stuff was going to be off the books and people are getting paid astronomical amounts that they're just not going to make next offseason or during the transfer portal windows. So I am curious to see if we do get more and more of, and if, Clemson wins with Klubnik, that's a perfect testament to that it works.
It is. It's a great point. And I think it's situational, right? Like Arch is an interesting example, but not the norm, where he was able to sit or had to sit, and we'll see if that was a good reason to do it or not. You look at programs like Alabama, where historically they've had the luxury to let a guy sit, or Ohio State, where you've had the luxury to let a guy sit, but the pressure, like a Dylan Raiola, is a really good example.
Yeah.
Nebraska, I don't think had the luxury because they needed like clearly the most talented quarterback on their roster, and also like trying to cement a legacy, trying to get the program, like they were in a position where they had to do it. I think Michigan's actually in a really interesting spot too with Underwood, who we think is going to be the guy.
And
like
Keene.
And Keene,
he's a veteran. He's played a lot.
He's had some huge games. Like you forget he's competing with them, and the fact that they haven't announced it, I don't know, maybe not great.
He was hurt a little bit, but
I think, and with the portal then too. So here's what's at risk. Okay, you sign a marquee guy, you play him, and it goes well. Like, okay, you're locked in for the next few years for this to go well as long as you keep paying him. You play him, it doesn't go well. Well, he's a bad fit, and off he goes. You don't play him, and there's competition. Like, I think these coaches are in really unique spots to try and make. DJ Lagway is like a unicorn last year because it was like this: the sky is falling, the schedule is hard, he's not starting. It's like, no, I'm good here, right? Like I'm comfy here. I'm going to diffuse all this while I can. I don't think that's going to be normal moving forward.
Yeah. Well, we do have some games this weekend, so very exciting, and we have a ranked matchup, which is huge because week 0, historically speaking, hasn't always had the razzle dazzle that we want it to have. But there are some teams that aren't in the top 25 that you particularly love.
Yes.
That we will talk about. But obviously the headliner is Iowa State and Kansas State playing in Dublin, Ireland, which, by the way, next season, I feel like we should go. This year wasn't the year, but next year might be the year. I feel like we should go.
I think that's a great idea. And I think it's a great opener. So last year, Florida State, Georgia Tech delivered. That was when we realized Florida State was a steamy pile of dog shit. We didn't know it at the time. Maybe Georgia Tech was great. Georgia Tech was good, but Florida State was bad. So I love the fact that this is probably one of the most important games the conference will play all year, and it's essentially opening up the season. 3-point spread. Total is over under 50.5, which I found interesting because it's one of the lowest totals on the board. Like, and these are two teams that you think would be able to score. So quarterbacks to me are really interesting. You and I have talked about it. Like Avery Johnson, if you watch him for 5 to 8 minutes, you'll think that this is a guy that's going to win the Heisman. If you watch him for the wrong 5 to 8 minutes and he's turnover happy and he's got happy feet, you're like, what is this guy going to do? I guess my intrigue would be with Iowa State, which started really well. They lost a lot of like huge weapons for Becht, who's still very good. They still have some weapons. What does that thing look like for them? And as an Iowa fan, I'm not a hater. I think they're still going to be really solid. Maybe I'm not talking about them enough, but I don't know. Kansas State definitely has more buzz going into this game. Don't you feel like?
Yeah, I mean, I think too, we talk a lot about these offenses. I think Kansas State is probably going to have one of the better defenses in the country.
Yeah.
Or not in the country, in the Big 12.
I actually think it could be a top 25, top 20 defense.
Okay. We'll give it that credit. I haven't seen anything yet, so I just want to make sure that we don't do that, jump to conclusions. But I do think they are going to fare well in the Big 12, especially because we've talked a lot about veteran quarterbacks, really electric offenses, and some really good teams offensively that Big 12 is not known for its defense. And I think that's something that we will be talking about with Kansas State. And that's honestly how they're going to win big games in the Big 12. And they have quite a few of them. I really do think they could win the conference, but I think there's also like 3 to 4 other teams in that conference that I think could potentially win.
I love the Big 12. I loved it last year. And we got a team that was 100-1 to win the conference to win. So albeit your rival, sorry. But still pretty unbelievable, right? That team will have a say. Yeah. Utah is going to be better. What is Baylor going to do? There's tons. It's
I will
deep.
Say this, and this will be clipped out, and I'm sure Arizona State fans will hold on to it forever.
Oh boy.
I had the opportunity to interview Kenny Dillingham at Big 12 Media Days, and I wanted so badly for him to be unlikable, not easy to talk to. After our interview, I was like, I could run through a brick wall. Like, the energy that he brought to a media day interview was like next level. It was so good, and it was like palpable. So I will say, I think Kenny Dillingham is really, for a guy that coaches my rival team, he is very, very likable.
I want to be careful here. He has a hint of PJ Fleck, yet not as much. And
wow,
Fleck,
yes, I can't. I also love PJ Fleck though. That's so
do I. I like Fleck too, and I've spent a lot of time with him, and I know that his enthusiasm is genuine.
Yeah.
But Dillingham is like more desperate in a way that's like the way he's tried to recruit, the way he's tried to fundraise, and I'm not saying Fleck doesn't do that either. And also I think both these guys are brilliant schematic guys, but Dillingham is one of the best offensive minds in all of football at any level. And I think it changes the way I look at him more of as like a mad scientist.
Yes. I also will say, I think the reason that you feel like it is a little too much in some aspects,
I love him, to be clear,
is because of the fact that he knows what works. He knows what works in this day and age of college football. So putting out there that you want to have an indoor stadium built and have these things done, like, he knows that putting that out there to the media is going to work. Like, he works all the things that this day and age in college football works for him and his team. He knows the momentum and the attention they're getting before they start playing games this year, before they have a couple losses maybe, and they aren't as relevant nationally as they are right now. He is, I think, genuinely like capitalizing on the moment. Yeah. So I will give him full credit for that, because like I said, if you can have high energy come Big 12 Media Days to just like sit down and have a conversation with someone, to, by the way, not all coaches were like that. There were some that were like, oh God, here we go, I have to do another interview. And some that were really, really exciting. One of those very exciting interviews that was not with the coach, but was with the players, was Jalen Daniels. He is the nicest individual, and I actually second nicest. Najee Harris was by far the nicest player, high school and college player that I've ever encountered. But Jalen gives me those vibes where his energy, like, they did such a good job keeping him at Kansas.
Yes.
Because they were going to be able to build around him players want to play with him. He was amazing. And they played this weekend versus Fresno State. Woo! Good transition.
Yeah, and this is a team that I'm pretty bullish on.
You are?
I like this team a lot. I like Leopold a lot. Probably not the most interesting
Leipold?
Leipold, whatever.
That's like me and what's his name? Josh Heupel.
Oh, yeah. Well, I could butcher.
Call him.
Normally it's an athlete's name. Coach is fine. But he's really good. And Daniel's really it's going to be a matter of health and also turnovers. Now you wonder the last few years, like what does it look like when he is fully going, right? Like, cause it's been a problem. He's had the back, he's had all these various issues and Kansas has kind of won either way. I mean, they found a way to make it possible. I think it's a great opening start for them. Fresno State undergoing a ton of changes. I mean, look, Kansas is opening 5 games. Fresno State, Wagner, they play at Missouri. That's interesting. Play West Virginia at home. Who knows? And they play Cincinnati. So if you can be 4-1 heading into the meat of this, you're essentially doing the opposite of what you did last year, was lose a shit ton of close games early and then find a rhythm at the end. I like this team. I like the offense. I really trust the coach. It feels like vibes are pretty good. Beating 3 ranked teams down the stretch last year was huge. I think it's a great opening spot for them.
Yes. Something new that we are changing this season that you guys can tell us if you hate this. We are going to reserve locks for social.
I know what the response is going to be. It's so hard not to inject gambling opinions right now, by the way.
I know. I'm proud of you. I was thinking that.
Keep it together.
We certainly can give your gambling opinions, but a rundown of each of our locks we thought would be a little bit more digestible if we posted them to social and a little bit easier to access if you're coming to the pod for that specifically. So we will be posting those on social each week, but we'll not do them on our full show. If you hate that, please tell us, and we will acknowledge the ones that we are head to head and keep a record. Maybe this year, we'll see. I don't know if that's too much to
probably
ask.
For 2 weeks.
Maybe we find our number 1 fan who will keep the record for us.
I will say, just to kind of put it for week 0 standards, I think there's a lot of interesting storylines. UNLV, Dan Mullen, and Alex Orji together, like that is interesting to me. Mullen back in football, I thought it was a great fit. Getting a quarterback who really couldn't throw the ball all that well at Michigan. Mullen is a quarterback whisperer. I'm really interested to see, even against Idaho State, assuming Orji's a start, like how that looks. Stanford, Hawaii, which is not at 10 o'clock at night, which is
wild,
fucking infuriating. Also interesting. Hawaii is favored in this game, right? Like that is to me like straight, and Hawaii
also
is
what does Stanford's year look like with an interim head coach? I'm just very curious to see how that goes.
I am very curious to see how that goes too. I don't know if it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to go great.
Here's the thing. I love Andrew Luck, so I trust him and his really smart brain.
Yes, I know. I think there's a plan, and I think he is by far the best guy for it. But an underdog against Hawaii, albeit on the island, that's not ideal. Like the gamblers, the odds makers are saying you're going to be pretty shitty, even though Hawaii is the best they've been in quite a while. I think that's a testament to the state of both programs.
Absolutely. Any other parting thoughts on week 0 before we preview a little bit of next week and then do random shit like
Western Kentucky and Sam Houston? There's like everybody in that game is new. And I actually think it's Sam Houston has been on the rise. Like it's a team that if you've been following has gotten better. But if you're looking for a game that is like synonymous with college football, right now that's it. There are so many new pieces in that game. It is unbelievable. I know that's a hard game to bet no matter what, but as I'm evaluating this for locks, I'm like, holy shit. But that is what I love about college football. It's what I love about week 0. Every game will be bet here. Every game will be played without question.
And if you want Kramer's locks in the written form,
yes,
they will be in the Bleacher Report app tomorrow, on Adam's Twitter tomorrow, linked out go look at that. That benefits both of us. Our day job.
Do I have to put that new graphic in myself?
Yes.
It's an awesome. I got a new graphic. Like I got a glow up, as I said to you earlier.
This is also a story of my life where you're like, do I do that myself? And I'm like, yes, Adam,
you were showing it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Way to go. No,
I was saying put that in the header photo, please.
Look, we got custom graphics and artwork. That in itself is worth seeing, right?
Yes, that and your bets.
And the bets, of course. Well, we'll see. I'll say just one last week. I want to get off to a good start, not just in locks, but I feel like in betting, and I don't know how you feel. Like a good start, a little cushion helps a lot, right? I remember 2 years ago, I got off to a roaring hot start. Eventually, it cools down. You have bad weeks. It's going to happen. A good start is a lot. When you come out of the gate and you're chasing, man. Yeah. It sucks. So let's not do that. Let's get some dubs.
That was a very passionate speech. That felt like a great coach speech. I will say, I think I am going to limit myself to the amount of games that I am allowed to bet this year. And
Jesus.
It's because we've done 5 picks a week for the last couple of years. And I just find myself being like, nah, I'm going against my gut in a lot of these things. I need to stick with the ones that I genuinely can fully get behind. And those will be fewer than 5. Or I'll have more than 5.
Counterpoint, you can bet the over in Western Kentucky, Sam Houston. Okay? Counterpoint.
I can bet the over in every Iowa game this year instead of the under. And
yeah. How'd that go? Huh?
Yes, all right.
Iowa's got a quarterback.
They do.
I can't
wait.
Which is a good segment for our new segment, which is what to expect next week.
We're going to tell you guys what is going on next week so you can look out for stuff and we're not late to telling you. So this is the part of the pod where you fast forward to this part to know what's actually happening and supposed to happen, and you can hold us accountable if it doesn't happen.
Good luck.
Yeah. Next week we will preview week 1. We will do picks for conference champions. We will do picks for national champion. We'll maybe do some college football playoff ones. We will be doing, I think we have a live show next Tuesday. Adam? I think we might.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know what the headline is for it yet. So
well, you would know better than I, but I'm in either way.
We will be better about posting on the No Punts Allowed social accounts when we are going to be live in the BR app or on YouTube with them. So you guys are able to check those out as well. Next week's pod is probably going to be a really beefy one. So apologies in advance because we're just going to get all of our off-season stuff out and preview stuff out in one pod before the week starts. But it will be very exciting. And then, of course, after week 1 is over, we will do a AP poll show, I think on that Tuesday, because the rankings after week 1 come out the day after Labor Day.
3 matchups featuring top 10 teams in week 1. College football typically fucks up week 1. It's not one of its strengths.
Yeah.
I can say I don't feel that way. We get primetime Belichick. We get 3 top 10 games.
We're getting teams that are scheduling tougher non-con because if you lose early in the season, it doesn't really matter for college football playoff.
I will say also Thursday night, we get some stuff. We get Nebraska, Cincinnati. You know where I'll be.
Yeah.
Neighbor Jason is pumped. He's already set the table.
You don't have to work that night. You can have as many beers as you want.
There will be a lot of beers. That will be a night of beers. Friday will not be fun. I am so excited. One of the advantages of not talking about college football the way that we did off season is you got some pent up college football things to get out.
Yes.
Next week, that will all be the case.
Absolutely. Do you have any random shit for this week before I tell you mine?
So, because it's been a minute, what have I been doing? You ask.
Yes,
you know what I think.
Yes.
I coached roughly 40 to 50 baseball games for my sons. My son, daughter, it's a lot. Our travel team, I will say this. I'm a little nicer on coaches. I think this year, I want to be nicer because our 8U team was not the greatest. And coaching is fucking hard.
Yes.
8-year-olds is hard too, right? But I learned a lot. Like planning practices, hard. Dealing with 8-year-olds' emotions, difficult. It was great. I love doing it. I'm doing it next year. I love baseball. I love being around the sport, at least in that regard. But holy shit, we didn't do the pod. I don't know if I could have done the pod in the spring, in the summer.
Honestly was part of why I think we had to figure out how this was all going to go down, is because we did have a lot going on this offseason.
So that is essentially what I've been doing. No joke. Like it became, if this were baseball season, football season were aligned, thank God they're not. I don't think those things would mesh, writing, potting, everything else. The other thing that just amazes me about youth sports in general, and I'll do a little quick rant. Everybody needs to just fucking relax, right? Parents need to relax. We as coaches need to relax. The number of time, like practice time and shit you want an 8-year-old to do in all sports. They want kids to specialize now, right? So like, hey, and this is actually goes to band. It goes to whatever you want to do. I'm watching my daughter right now try to do cheerleading and softball at the same time. It's like fucking impossible.
Yeah.
I think as a society, we need to just breathe a little bit and let kids be kids. There's my rant. Can't wait to start coaching kids in baseball in January, though.
Let kids be kids.
Let kids be kids, though.
Well,
that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I will say my fiance, Nick, is a high school football coach. And this time of year, the last 2 weeks, school started. And obviously, my role at BR editorial-wise, things have really picked up in the last 2 weeks.
A little bit.
I feel like we've barely had time to like talk, but we've like here and there over like what each of us is doing. And like he's constantly with a whiteboard, constantly getting texts from players like, oh, also a lot of kids, needing to maybe specialize in baseball and not play football anymore. Kind of a bummer as well. Those kind of things coming up. So yeah, I agree with you. I think maybe we need to even let high schoolers be high schoolers. And let them play what they want to play and not be so worried about some of that stuff.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. This offseason, one thing I will say is I have been very busy wedding planning. That has been quite a task, but you know what? It's great and it's fun, and we're almost in football season. So, which seems weird, but that will be my downtime of wedding planning. Which is nice, but also have had the opportunity to go to Big 12 Media Days, do some interviews with coaches, and did Big 12 spring meetings, talk to some college basketball coaches, which you guys know I love college basketball so much. So getting to meet coaches that I've watched for like years. Speaking of vacated wins, I met Bill Self and got to interview Bill Self. I did meet Tommy Lloyd for all my Arizona people. That was the like highlight of my life. They say don't meet your heroes, but honestly, it was perfection. And I found out he's quite the pickleball player. So catch me trying to play pickleball with the head coach of Arizona. So there's that. But some really cool opportunities to interview people, which I love doing. But my random shit for today, just today's pod, is that about like 2 hours ago, I realized that I was so tense that my shoulders and neck were so tight that I was like, I couldn't even sit up in my chair when I was setting up for this pod. So I went into the bathroom and I just like lathered my back in Icy Hot. So this entire pod, I've been smelling Icy Hot and powering through because I don't really love, it's not that I hate the smell of it, but
I actually love it.
Icy Hot, if you want to sponsor the pod, feel free, because I am sitting here with Icy Hot on so I can sit in this position to do this pod because nothing was going to stop me.
I appreciate the dedication.
Thank you so much.
Typically playing hurt.
Yes,
or
always,
sick,
every episode.
Throughout. So that's on brand.
Yes.
No, it is so good to be back. Like
it is.
You know, the thing about this, I'll get real for a second. You and I, our schedules are crazy. Work, personal, whatever, right? Kids, marriage, wedding planning, like it's a lot. Writing. When you and I have talked like the last few weeks, we were like, God, how are we going to do this? Should we do it? Honestly.
Yeah.
I think the part of this that is like deep down, when we do our live videos with PR, it's awesome. But we cannot be truly, I can't say fuck as much as I would like.
Although I think they would let us get away with it at this point, maybe with one or two. But
I like this because we can be ourselves. We can, it's fun. It's easy. It's not work. And so this was a really, I don't want to say an easy decision because our lives are busy. Like, this is real estate, but it's important.
A labor of love.
It is. And I think there's still an opportunity to grow this in really fun and unique ways. We're always up for suggestions. Icy Hot. Come on.
Yeah, Icy Hot. It seems like a shoe-in sponsor.
Whatever.
I think the other aspect is that we people have grown to love this show for the fact that we don't take ourselves that seriously, and we don't take this seriously. Like, of course we are giving our opinions and we stand behind our takes and we're watching and dedicated to college football, but it's such a different way that I feel like maybe, I mean, I'm going to humble brag here like I'm Auburn. We think this is different than a lot of the other things that are out there in college football right now.
Yes.
We don't care about, being, clickbaity or any of that stuff. It's more about like the personal talk and just having these conversations. And you and I love doing that. Of course, we do take ourselves a little bit more seriously when it comes to the BR Lives because there's graphics and live stuff and all these things happening around us, which we love doing. But it's a little bit of a different shift to do this one. And it was really important to us to bring it back and make sure we did it.
Yeah, I never want to do what everyone else is doing. The one thing I don't love in the media space, it feels like everyone has to live up to a reputation of who they think they are.
Yeah.
I just don't fucking care, and neither do you.
No.
College football is too silly of a game
it is
to take too seriously. And I don't think people want to hear it either. So we can ingest what we think is meaningful commentary and breakdown, and gambling, of course, is great. We love that part. Into a sport that is far too much fun to be talked about and broken down in that way. That's great if you like it. And there's opportunities for it.
Yes.
Just not here. I want this to be original and fun and light.
This is our safe space.
This is a safe space. And very, very few like it. So that's what you're going to get, albeit now with broken down segments, since apparently we can't live in a fucking frat house anymore, according to Paige.
She has rules.
We have to make the bed and get the mice out. And
which, by the way, I do make my bed every morning. That is something every single morning.
I'm pretty bad with it.
Are you the first or the last to get up in your relationship?
I'm out. Well, summer changes. Kids are back to school tomorrow. So I have largely left the house before anyone is awake for 3 months, which is actually, frankly, a little depressing. I don't know how this next part will go. A little stressful.
What grades are we in?
We are in. Oh fuck! Why'd you have to ask me that? We are in first.
Caitlin doesn't remember. Caitlin, we keep. She doesn't.
The kids are gonna watch this. They're like, Dick.
Dad doesn't know. All right,
Olivia.
How old are they? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. What's their birthdays?
What time were they born?
Yeah. What are we? We are first, third, and fifth.
Wow.
So with my daughter next year, it gets real. Do
you guys do middle school in 6th grade?
Yes.
Okay, so I did middle school when I was in the 6th grade, but when I moved to Arizona, it's only 7th and 8th grade. That was a weird shift.
Yeah, no, we got a new school next year. So this is I know it's getting, and then high school is 3 years after that. No, that's not. No, that's yeah.
We don't talk about it. We don't have to talk about it.
I'm not that old yet, but I will be. So
no.
But I could not be more excited for this year, this week. It's a grind. We do these live streams every Sunday, right? After a long day on Saturdays.
Until November, guys.
And
catch us on Sundays.
But God, there's nothing like it.
It's an adrenaline rush.
There's nothing like it. I get people ask me all the time, do you still love it? And it's holy shit, yeah.
Yeah. Every minute of it.
It truly, most of the time, doesn't feel like work when you're consuming college football the way we do.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's do it.
Yeah. Look at us getting it done. Are we under an hour? I can't see the time. We are barely 6 minutes under an hour. There you go.
We thought it would be next week. We're fucked. Everybody else is fucked too.
We literally were it's going to be 30 minutes. We always say that.
All right. So next week we already did. Yeah, seriously. So next week, lots to go over.
Yes. Week 1.
Buckle in.
Enjoy football.
And if we don't forget, and Paige will hold me to this, there will be locks of the week on socials about who we like.
Yes.
I can't believe.
Also, like, I kind of want everyone to like send us pictures of them drinking like Guinness or some form of beer.
Oh,
watching
yeah.
the 9 a.m. game. Well, it's 9 a.m. for me. Sorry, not for you, but
yeah, that's so
a 9 a.m. beer. That feels right.
It does feel right.
I have a bridal shower at night, so maybe maybe pregame.
Although I'm 40, Kegs and Eggs, the name, but still hits as an old man. All right, we'll enjoy week 0, and we were so thrilled to be back. We will talk to you guys next week.